Sally Weisenberger. Last time you were here, you made the perfect mixtures for biscuits. Was it three ingredients?
3 ingredient biscuits.
You can't mess them up.
You can't mess them up.
Being that this is an educational show,
Yes.
we're all about education.
Yes. Okay, that's good.
Do I like education?
You do. You look very witty.
Let's talk about what is grits. What's it actually made from?
Grits are made from corn. They're ground corn.
So basically,
kernel
it
corn.
goes through that process of a particular size grind,
Right.
and that's what you come up with. So
It is.
When and is this most of this Kentucky corn as far as you
Oh,
know?
yes. Absolutely.
See, I like that.
I do too.
I like this whole Kentucky local
Oh, I
thing.
do too. And on many of the packages, it'll tell you from which farm the product came.
Now, we've had this plate sitting over here looking at me. We got so many things you're going to do tonight, or we're going to talk about. Some things we're just going to give you the recipe and
Right.
go to the link.
That's
but
right.
grits is, you can do a whole lot of stuff.
You certainly
with grits.
can. We're gonna just make some basic grits tonight with water. You can make them with milk. You can make it with half water and half milk. And you can use the basic recipe for shrimp and grits, or a bowl of grits for breakfast, or whenever you want to eat some grits.
I like honey in mine.
Well, I like butter and a little pepper on mine.
Butter and pepper. See, I like butter and honey.
Yeah, that's good too.
All right, let's get basic. Let's go
Okay,
with basic
grits. Today we're just going to make the grits using water. So to the pan, we're going to add 4 cups of water. So I'm going to add the last cup because we've already put 3 cups of water in there. We're going to add about a half a teaspoon of salt, and salt to taste. You don't even have to add salt if you don't want to.
Oh, you gotta have some salt.
We're going to add half a teaspoon of salt, and then we're going to bring that water to a boil. And when the water boils, we're going to pour in the grits and stir and turn the heat down, simmer for about 20 minutes.
For about 20 minutes, and that's it.
That's it. Then we're done.
All right, Derby favorites are coming up. And you were talking about the cheese grits casserole.
I
and
think
I had
so.
some of that. Oh my goodness.
It is yummy, isn't it?
Would you share that recipe with us?
I will, and I will tell you that I didn't make the recipe up. I did get it from a cookbook. So.
It doesn't matter. It's all good.
Okay. This makes a 9 by 13 pan. Anyway, it's 2 cups of grits, and I used white grits.
Gotcha.
4 cups of water, a teaspoon of salt, and 3 cups of milk. So these grits were made with a little milk and a little water. Melt 1 stick of butter, add 2 cloves of smashed garlic to the butter, and just let it melt on a very low burner. Add the butter when the grits are done. 4 eggs, temper the eggs with a little bit of your hot grits into the eggs back in, stir that together. 2 cups of cheese, pour into a buttered casserole dish and bake for about 45 minutes, 375.
Now, you know.
And it sets up, see, after a casserole, because it has eggs, it's solid. Now what we're making today is a little more soupy. Let's check the grits and see if they're, oh, they are. All right, now you can tell the difference in the consistency. Let me show you the camera. That now they've thickened up. So you've got a softer texture than you would in a casserole. But these are ready to eat.
And you can do so many things with that.
You can.
You know what? We think about our cornbread, and it's one of the easiest things in the world you can make. And it's an easy side.
It is.
But I'm a cast iron guy. You see me cooking on all the time. You told me you're going to make some kind of...
We're going to make cornbread in a cast iron skillet. So
I'm all about that, just like my
right.
grandma.
All right.
I'll set this aside.
Okay.
Now I want to ask you something.
All right.
I see this all the time, bolted.
Okay.
What does
Bolted and
bolted mean?
unbolted, it means sifted. Bolted means that this has been sifted.
So like if you get unbolted, that's kind of more old-fashioned,
Coarse
a
grain.
little coarse grain. Like,
It's like having whole wheat flour.
So a bolt
You can
is
have
like
a whole
a cloth that it's sifted through.
So we're going to be using bolted in this. Our
Bolted
cornbread tonight, yes. And we're going to use a self-rising cornmeal mix that has a little bit of flour and already has leavening in it, so we don't have to add that.
Once again, non-GMO corn.
Non-GMO
From
corn.
Kentucky?
This is. So, I follow the recipe on the bag. So it's very, this cornbread, muffins or sticks, and I just pour it in there. And
Now, do you heat this up in the oven ahead of time?
I heat that in the oven, and I add about 2 tablespoons of oil.
Gotcha.
So we'll go ahead and measure it. We have to have some oil so it doesn't stick,
Right.
but we don't need it to be swimming in it. So I have found that about 2 tablespoons is about the right amount.
Got what you need.
Right. So
You put that in a hot oven for how long?
put that in a hot oven for 5 minutes to maybe 5 to 7 minutes so that gets really hot. And then while that's heating up, we're going to go ahead and mix up our cornbread batter. 1 3/4 cups of this cornmeal mix. So we're going to add a cup and a half of buttermilk.
Doesn't that just add the richness? And
It does, and I think the texture is better.
For the hush puppies too?
Yes, they really are. Buttermilk definitely in hush puppies.
Oh, yeah.
So a cup and a half of buttermilk and 1 egg. And we're going to whisk this together. And since we're using the self-rising mix, we don't have to add any of the leavening.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so we whisk this together. That's it, and we're going to cook in a preheated 500-degree oven, which is really hot.
500 degrees.
But it works.
How long?
15 minutes.
Really?
And it cooks fast.
Well, I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
I like things that are, when you're hungry, you're hungry. You want to eat.
That's right. So you don't have to wait 30 minutes for cornbread. You can have it 15 minutes.
I had no idea.
So anyway, here we go. So we're going to add to the hot skillet.
Here, a little bit of sizzle there.
Here, a little sizzle. And it sort of climbs up the side, and then into the oven this goes. Pop this in the oven for 15 minutes.
You grab that and I'll pop this oven.
All right. Okay, so we're going to just sit it right back there.
You know what? I think most people would think that 500 degrees, you'd think about black cornbread.
Right.
15 minutes.
And it doesn't. It's a little, you know, watch your oven.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now you're going to take this. I remember the rack from last time.
Right. So we let it sit for a little while, and then we're going to hope that it comes out. And if it doesn't, you know, just slide a little knife under there and give it a little extra push.
Pokes it out.
Right. So we're going to hope that it comes out. Sometimes I'll put the rack up like this and flip. Oh, yes, it came out.
Well.
There we go.
Just
so
like that.
There we have a big skillet cornbread. And it didn't burn.
Let me tell you what, I thank you so much for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
We love our Kentucky stuff. And
thank you.
Non-GMO.
We're happy to be on your show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.